So Permian Monsters is a fairly large, very in-depth exhibit that we are hosting here for the next year. So it's here on display through January of 2022. We're so thrilled that there's a little bit of time to really come back and see it a couple of times. There's a lot to see. So this is a story, basically this is an immersive story experience about the Permian, which was 299 million years ago. So to give you a sense of that, Tyrannosaurus rex went extinct 65 million years ago. So this is much, much, much longer ago. And basically the whole world was different then.
The Earth was in a very different kind of state. The continents were in different positions. There was actually one supercontinent called Pangaea. And there was life running around on land. Nothing as large as dinosaurs, nothing as modern as mammals or birds. It was sort of precursors to a lot of the kinds of animals that would become more dominant in the future. So these are really interesting, both on land and in the sea. They are forms that look different and are different, but are very important in the story of the history of life.
Well, they're big ones, right? These are large-bodied predators. Here we have one right here. And so there's meat eaters and there's vegetarians and herbivores, I should say. And but none of them are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs weren't even hadn't even begun to evolve yet. And so it's like amazing to come in and see these huge animals that sort of look like dinosaurs, but they're really not even related at all. They're what we call para-reptiles and amphibians. So they're reptile-ish, but they're not actually reptiles. What's really cool about them is that they fill the same niches that animals today and animals in the past have filled. So they're still herbivores, they're still predators, they're still carnivores. They're very different animals. So it's really exciting to understand that there's not one single dinosaur in this room.
So if you come see Permian Monsters, you'll see skeletons of a lot of these very interesting primitive land animals, as well as some sea animals as well, I must say. You'll also see models, beautiful sculpture of some of the reconstructions of these prehistoric animals. Also some animatronics, so moving versions of these prehistoric animals, as well as beautiful artwork, lots of interesting text and displays and things to see and things to touch. So really a lot of activity from young to old. I think everybody will find something that they love to do here in Permian Monsters.
Julius Cosoni is the artist whose work is featured here. He did these very large digital murals. They're all over the exhibit, and they're so interesting because they really paint a portrait not of just one animal again, but of an ecosystem. So this is one of the examples here. And you can see that there'll be all kinds of different creatures interacting with their environment. Really helps immerse you in the time period.
You know what my favorite thing in this exhibit is? There is a small part of the exhibit which discusses one group of very interesting animals, land-living, backboned animals, called Cyanodonts. And Cyanodonts mostly went extinct at the end of the Permian period, but one group of them survived, and they are the precursors of the first true mammals on Earth. And we are a mammal, and so these Cyanodonts, which kind of squeaked through the Permian extinction, gave rise to the group of animals that began to dominate after the dinosaurs went extinct, including ourselves. So I think that story about the Cyanodonts is really an interesting part of this exhibit.
What I think is really special about this exhibit is it's not just about a particular animal. It's about a time period. And what's really shocking about that time period is how it ended, right? That time period, the Permian, ended in a mass extinction. Over 90% of the creatures on Earth went extinct at the end of the Permian. They almost call it like sterilization, which is really scary. And what we were hoping people will take away is that the Earth goes through this, right? Their animals come and then they go, and extinctions happen, and we're in one right now. And it's a little bit frightening to think about that all of these different worlds have come and gone, and ours could too. So as exciting and fun as it is to come and see the past, it's also got a little bit of a message about today and caring for our planet and each other.
But what caused the Permian extinction? People believe, and geologists have collected good information to suggest that there was really significant volcanic activity in what is now Siberia, sort of northern parts of Asia. And nothing like we see today. Huge flows of basaltic lava covering hundreds of square miles that went on for hundreds of thousands of years. And along with volcanic activity, you increase the gases in the atmosphere, certain gases, such as sulfur dioxide. And when there's a lot of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, you get acid rain coming down, which is not a good thing. You also get an increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere when you have significant volcanic activity. And so over hundreds of thousands of years, so it didn't happen quickly. Well, in geologic time, it was pretty quick. But over hundreds of thousands of years, atmospheric composition changed, CO2 drove up temperature, greenhouse gases, just like what we talk about today. And so the Earth changed really significantly. And as often happens in mass extinctions, the Earth was changing too rapidly for life to sort of adapt and keep up with it. So many ecosystems crashed, including ocean ecosystems and land ecosystems. And a lot of organisms went extinct, but not everything. And so what did survive into the subsequent time period sort of gave rise to the next world, the world of dinosaurs, and all the changes that happened during that period.
Why would you encourage people to come visit this exhibit?
Well, there's something for everybody. It's got thrilling large animals, little small animals that are actually that are I guess are precursors to mammals, so you and me, right? Incredible artwork, animatronics, digital experiences. We've got a game. There's a little bit of something for everybody, and you can take in as much as you want to, and then come back and learn a little bit more. So you won't come out having read everything or know everything about it, which makes it really fun and kind of challenging.
The Permian is a time period, and myself as a paleontologist, that we know about, but we have a lot to learn. And actually, I think a lot of people out there who love dinosaurs, love, prehistoric life, may have heard of the Permian or maybe not, but they don't know all that much about it. So I love this exhibit because it gives us, and it gives everybody who visits, a glimpse into sort of another world, a time period that we have so much more to learn about, whether you're a paleontologist like me or whether you're just coming in to visit.